We're still ahead by a lot, but not as many, because they're finding ballots all of a sudden. Oh, we have some mail-in ballots. It's amazing how those mail-in ballots are so one-sided, too. I know that it's supposed to be to the advantage of the Democrats, but in all cases, they're so one-sided.
We're watching President Trump speaking live from the White House, and we have to interrupt here because the president has made a number of false statements, including the notion that there has been fraudulent voting. There has been no evidence of that. Allegations by his campaign, but his campaign spokespeople unable to provide any evidence. He also has suggested that the polls, and many of which were incorrect, were somehow the product of election interference. Chuck Todd, Andrew Mitchell with me here. Hate to cut away from the president, but
he's trying to set a narrative, and he's even admitting that it was a narrative he was beginning to set before the election. Remember, I've been talking about these mail-in votes. This was clearly going to be a strategy, or at least he's sort of presenting it that way on that.
We don't know the Alaska Senate yet either. The fact is that none of the prominent elected officials, Republican officials, have come to the defense of the president's assertion that this is fraud and that it's rigged. I mean, not Mitch McConnell, not others. In fact, his sons have been tweeting that these Republicans who have other Republicans, Nikki Haley and others, who might have ambitions for 2024, are not coming to his defense strongly enough. So there's been a lot of anger in social media from the Trump family.
People who were told that they need to come show an ID so that they can make sure that their vote counts. Otherwise, their vote will not count. The elections officials want to see an ID from these folks. This is a line that was very long earlier today. It is now shortened. And part of the reasons why it's shortened, Wolf, is because it is past 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock was the deadline to get the votes cured. Now, you are the last person in line. And what did they tell you? Because there's no one behind you. If anyone shows up now, they cannot get their vote cured, correct?
Right, exactly. So for me, it's very important that my voice is heard. My voice is my vote. So whoever texted me at 4:30, first they called me and said my vote did not go through. And then they texted me and said I needed to be here by 5. So I'm literally driving through the streets to get here on time to make sure that my vote is counted.
Wait, they didn't tell you until 4:30?
Until 4:30. They called me and then they sent me a text and asked me to send a copy of my ID. Well, that's not going to happen, sending my ID to someone not certain who it is. So I made sure that I came down here because they said I had to be here by 5 p.m. So I was flying literally to get here. So it's important that at this very last
I think, as Jake said, it's sad and it is truly pathetic. And of course it is dangerous, and of course it will go to courts. But you'll notice the president did not have any evidence presented at all. Nothing. No real, actual evidence of any kind of fraud. Talked about people putting up papers in windows. He talked about things that he'd seen on the internet. That is the president of the United States. That is the most powerful person in the world. And we see him like an obese turtle on his back, flailing in the hot sun, realizing his time is over.
What a sad night for the United States of America to hear their president say that, to falsely accuse people of trying to steal the election, to try to attack democracy that way with this feast of falsehoods. Lie after lie after lie about the election being stolen. No evidence for what he... The president, for example, he assailed vote by mail. Why, he asked, why are the vote by mail ballots so overwhelmingly in favor of Joe Biden? We all know the answer. It's because the president told his supporters not to vote by mail. So Democrats did it overwhelmingly, and his supporters turned out in droves on election day. Look,